Two, one. Is it working? Yes.
Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Somae Society's Space Weather. I am 𝘱𝘧𝘪𝘴𝘴𝘪𝘵𝘺. I am coming to you completely depleted and absolutely exhausted. I have been on a crazy wild ride of detoxing and fasting because, Spirit told me to do so. When Spirit says to do something, I tend to do it most of the time. And yeah, I'm really, really excited for this week. Last week, we had a community week that Bonnie held together that was just absolutely beautiful. And this week, we're making some changes up in here. By popular request, a lot of people have been letting us know that the space weather has been coming to them a little too late, especially those that have been watching on replay. So, as a gift to you all and a gift to ourselves as well, we're changing the format up right now. And this week's space weather is going to be covering Friday through Thursday. So we're going to be doing these recordings and we're still going to be holding them on Tuesday, but you'll be able to go back and replay and watch before the space weather even happens. So you can hopefully plan out your weeks a little bit better. You would think with three Capricorns running this dang thing that we would have probably done this sooner, but here we are right now. And I am so, so, so happy to be here with my beautiful and exceptional co host, Miss Bunny Sunshine. That sounded like Bunny instead of Bonnie. And Miss Kirsty Harris. I love you both so much. And thanks for always being a safe space for any and all of us, including myself, to show up exactly as we are, even, if we've been going through all sorts of interesting changes and feel really depleted. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Bonnie, you got anything to say, my love?
Yeah, I am so excited. We've been doing this since early November. And if you're just joining us, we are Somae Society, a coalition of intuitive arts, where we put embodiment, intuition, and your charts at the forward so that you can be your whole human as self. We have a school community, and if you're finding us on YouTube, you can join us there so that you can dive deeper with community. It's free. We love going deeper with you on whatever topic you bring to us. And we have Kirsty Harris, our other co-host. How you doing over there?
Feel like I'm just like the weird auntie in the corner. I'm just a weird auntie, and I just bring all your ritual bits, all your herbs, all your stuff that you need to be focusing on. And yeah, I'm very excited because we've got quite a juicy like solar eclipse coming up. Now, I'm not going to get too much into it, but there's a reason why I call it El Clippo. You know, like El Chapo, but it's fucking El Clippo when it comes to the eclipse season. All right, so we're going to get into that later, but I'm very excited for that. But I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like today everyone's kind of feeling like, oh, well, the people I've been speaking to are not like quite feeling themselves. I'm feeling a little bit depleted, like Io said, but also I'm not feeling right in myself either. And I just kind of want to just say this is our permission to do something nice for ourselves. If that's listening to Somae and making a cup of tea, if it's doing one of our lovely guided practices or listening in for as long as you can, whatever it is, give yourself permission to do something nice for yourself today. Because I feel like we need that extra bit of juicy nourishment. So yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at today anyway.
I'm super cranky, so yeah, I'm feeling all of that.
You
I
don't seem it, Bonnie.
Great
Yeah.
masking.
I want to say thank you to everybody that keeps joining us live week after week. Like, we see you. I love you. And I'm so excited to touch base with you on the after hours and see how y'all are doing. One of the bonuses is if you join us live, you can come and hang out after hours and we go over the previous space weather, whatever's just showing up in your life. And sometimes impromptu readings can happen. Bonnie will pull some impromptu cards for you. Like, it's just come hang out live if you've got the availability. And then also, like, thank you to those that are watching us on replay. Like, holy cow, you guys, I get messages all the time from people that are like, whoa, that space weather blew my mind. So just a huge thank you for supporting us and being here with us. It's just, I have so much gratitude. I remember when Bonnie and I started, it was like two people hanging out, and it feels really good to be building this community with you specifically. So thank you guys. Cool.
Do we
Space.
want to list what we're going to go through today? I say that because
Yes.
I don't have the list. I don't have the list.
I'll
I just have my bit.
give me a few seconds and I'll get the list ready and I'll pop it in chat. Thanks for the reminder. Where's the music coming from? Oh, from my phone.
You. Yeah. I was like, we're the only two that are unmuted. So
Oh gosh. I'm like, man, that was some like epic announcement of letting me like post the schedule in the chat. Let me get that ready for y'all.
I love that. So one of the things that Io and I did when we first started planning Somae Society is it was very clear that Io was bringing through the architects, the void, and channeling the architects in specifically. So when we were going through it, we realized that mine is the archer. And I am really good at planting my feet and helping anchor like the meat, the juice, the thing that may not be, that we can't see necessarily in front of us unless we're super focused and clear. I don't know why I'm telling you that. I just love when things come out of my mouth. Um, and that we're and for me it's also the sunshine, like shining the light on everything, on the darkness, on the yuck, on the yum, so that you can bring that out and name the thing that's happening. So I love, Kirsty, that you're naming what's happening for you and that you is telling us so that it helps me anchor, it helps me ground, it helps people in our field be here more fully because we're naming the energetics and what's happening.
Take a breath on that one.
Yes. And hydrate. One of the things we like to do is give you invitations throughout. So you'll hear us say, take a breath, hydrate. And both of these help me connect to my body. And for those of us who are reading the field, it gives us more information because you are also hydrating and breathing, connecting to your higher self, your spirits, your guides. One of my teachers says, Gus, and I've changed it to Agus. So A is like angels, ancestors. G is God, goddess, guides. U is universe. S is source, spirit, sovereignty. And that helps us connect to all those different things.
I don't know. I just feel like people just need to be hydrating way more than usual lately.
Dude, that's for real. Yeah. That is so for real. So right now I'm pulling up our little agenda thing. I don't have the human design in there. I wasn't sure. There was no confirmation on who was taking what because we all a bit of a shit show right now, and that's what it is. So I will be posting that in the chat so everybody kind of knows kind of where we're at, including us. So let me pop that up. Yeah, lots of people wanting to sleep. I slept like 12 hours the other day. So the first thing that we have up and running is going to be this Venus stack.
This is so much for us to go through today.
Well, that's the Venus stack, which is 3 of those things on the list. So essentially, we've got the Venus trine Pluto, Venus opposite Neptune, Venus trine Uranus. Those are all going to be in one section that I'm going to be doing. Then we've got the Mercury opposite Pluto, Mercury trine Neptune, the total solar eclipse, the new moon in Leo, which is the big news, which I know Kirsty's going to be doing. And then Mercury sextile Uranus and Mercury sextile Venus. I don't I don't know what we all decided on doing. We just, yeah. So I'm not sure what's going to be covered out of all of those things. We're playing in the void right now, guys. Like that's what's been coming up over and over and over again when I talk to friends, when I talk to everybody. It's like release control, release control, release control. None of us have control over any of this world. Like, and yeah, I hear you people that are like, yeah, I have control over my own life. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because you don't know what's going to happen in this world. You can't plan for everything, guys. So the key to this week, this what how long? Hold on, I'm checking in. The key to this next like 3 weeks roughly is going to be just like letting go of control and just flowing as well as you can within this. And if you try to grasp control, they're bringing up Sedna, your fingers are just going to get chopped the fuck off. So not to be super brutal with that. And also, yeah, and the human design gates as well. So,
Here's your
yeah,
permission to fuck around and find out for 3
yeah,
weeks.
exactly. Well, that human design gate 7 came a couple of days ago. Do you want to talk about that first and then I'll roll into Venus, Bonnie? Or,
Sure. Yeah.
okay.
So human design gate 7 is, oh shoot, I lost my notes, is in the G center and it connects to gate 31 in the throat center. And this is important if you have gates, if whether you have these two gates or not, they might be showing up very differently in your chart. This means that everyone has access to them. So gate 7 is through August 7th. And it is collaboration, the role of the self. The voice of gate 31 that it's connected to is I lead or not. So this pairing is asking, do I have the authority to lead through collaboration? Or do I only find peace in supporting? And the affirmation that you'll want for this one is, I am an agent of peace who influences the direction and organization of leadership. You've learned this. You carry it forward and now you are ready to ask, who do I become when I lead? Not from the front, but from the ground up. So that's exactly why I was bringing in the grounding of the archer, because we are leading from the ground up.
I love that. That was one of the things that was coming through because I'm about to go to this retreat, and every time I go to this specific person's work, I end up like in the clouds, and I'm like, I gotta just stay grounded. I gotta ground into it. Like the whole time that I'm there, I'm like, just ground, just keep grounding. It's like Dory. It's like, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. I'm like, just keep grounding, just keep grounding. Uh, Really quick, because I feel like we're going to definitely go over on this episode, but really quick, I want to bring in a grounding practice that actually Nina Camille taught me. And it is when we're grounding, a lot of times we'll send our like center straight down into like the center of the earth. Well, one of the things she taught me was to actually make it like a tripod, right? Where you send your ground straight down into the center of the earth. And then you either shoot out forward, backward, left, right, whichever feels good to you. You also shoot out an extra grounding cord, right? So you almost make yourself like a stool, right? And you can also do this like as a triangle as well. And you can set out extra grounding cords on either side of you to make yourself even more grounded, even more stable. Me being the weirdo that I am, I ended up doing like a pyramid with me at the center and then grounding down. That was really fun. So kind of play around with your grounding practices. Like maybe it's time to up level them. Maybe you don't have any grounding practices, and that's cool too. Like this is your note to maybe start doing some grounding practices if you want. And if you got questions about them, come hang out in school and ask them, what the heck is grounding, right? Like that's what we're here for. And I am going to go ahead and roll right into this Venus stack, you guys. This Venus stack is really, really, really wild. And I'm not going to do like, I'm not going to try to bypass this because like she be bipolar. Like this time is like from August like 8th through the 14th, Venus is going to be playing all over the place. And there's a lot of opportunity, right? I don't want to scare anybody out of this, or if you want to feel scared, that's on you. Have fun with that. The thing is she is doing some flippy floppies that are going to happen. The first is going to be Venus on August 10th. Venus is going to go trine Pluto. So when we're looking at Venus, this is all about, and she's also in Libra right now. So this is all about balancing beauty. This is balancing love. This is balancing value and money. Trine is 120 degrees, and this is harmony. This is flow. This is gifts that are being given. With Venus trine Pluto, which is in Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius is like this collective underworld transformation. And this transit is going to be happening from the 8th to the 12th. So if all of those names, all of those numbers did not make any sense to you, we're going to go into what they actually mean. So we're looking at this like intense magnetic depth that's going to be available. This is going to be a level of intimacy that can completely and utterly transform not only your life, but it can transform the entire collective. This is this attraction at this soul level. I mean, it is deep. And when I'm talking deep, we're talking like Hades, Pluto, like down into the underworld depth that's available. And this is like attraction and value that's going to go deeper to how you relate to things that you love. So a lot of people think Venus is just relationships, just partnerships. That's not what she is at all. That's a piece of her, but that's not the umbrella. This is anything you're passionate about. This could look like yourself. It could look like your work. It could look like your home. It could look like a partner. It could look like your art. So depending on what you truly value and truly love, this is where that transformation gets to happen. So the ask for the 8th through the 12th, and especially on the 10th, is to go deep into what you find value in. And I'm going to repeat that again, and we can breathe into it. Go deep into what you find value in, not somebody else, not something fancy that shows up and is real sparkly. We'll be talking about that next, but what you find actual value in. So this is a little bit of that bipolar aspect that I was talking about. The next transit, this is happening literally just a few hours after that first transit. This is where Venus goes opposite. And when we're looking at opposite, this is going to be 180 degrees. This could be a tension, it can be a face-off. And Venus is going to be opposite of Neptune in Aries, right? So we're thinking like kind of this like self-warrior dreams, illusion, and fantasy that can happen. And this is going to be affecting 8th through the 12th as well. So both of these are going to be kind of bouncing back and forth with each other through the next few days. What can happen with Neptune is Neptune can tend to make us very foggy. It's going to roll in. It can give us rose-colored glasses. It could be something that's incredibly beautiful, but very, very, very blurry. What's coming up is like pointillism. It's a style of art that like all the art's made with these tiny little points. And when you step back, wow, it looks gorgeous. But when you get up close, you're like, I can't even figure out what the crap this painting looks like. I don't even know what it is. So this kind of feeling can completely dissolve and blur your discernment. And that is something to be very, very aware of from the 8th to the 12th, because you've got this like beautiful magnetic depth and transformation. And then you also have like this inability to tell if it's real or not. The key on this one is just don't hand anybody your heart or your wallet during this transit. Don't just be like, oh, here, like, here you go. Oh, you want some money? Here, I got you. Like, this feels really deep. It feels really important. So just look out for that kind of stuff until this transit passes. And what's really cool is around the 12th, this is going to start to fall off, those two major things. But before they fall off on August 11th, the next day, Venus is going to be trine Uranus. So we already know Venus, what you value. Trine is ease, grace, flow, and Uranus in Gemini, which looks like flexibility. It looks like this like sudden sparks, this like electric attraction. And this is something that I would call like a catalyst, and it can break stagnation for you. So with all three of these together, right after the 12th, the truth is going to be really apparent around the 13th or 14th, right around that time frame. So if you meet somebody and you're like, they're the one, and you fall deathly in love with them and everything's fantastic, and then the 13th you're like, okay, I'm waiting to fall fully in love until the 13th. I'm gonna wait until the 13th to just check on this. Same thing comes up. If you're a Capricorn like me and the perfect business opportunity shows up, be like, hey, before I sign on that dotted line, just give me until the 13th or 14th. Like, this is a really good practice right now. That's the booby trap, is getting lost in that Neptunian fog and mistaking projection for truth, what you really want for truth. It can also lead to impulsivity, confusing intensity, or novelty for value, right? If you're like, oh, this is super intense, it must be great. Or this is new to me and I'm very excited about it and it must be right. Wait until the 13th or 14th. The gift of this time, though, is a chance for depth and a chance for openness in your world. This is freedom flowing through what you love and value. There is a magnetism with Pluto that's going to be softened by some compassion with Neptune and enlivened by this freshness of Uranus. So this is a really, really, really great opportunity to feel the full range of Venus and what it means to be drawn in, and then letting that change you, but from a really clean point of you knowing your own discernment. And I do want to say, because sometimes when I used to watch reports like these and I would do things in a way that I thought was wrong, or I would trip up and make the incorrect decisions, if you end up signing on the dotted line and it ends up all falling apart, trust that that's for your highest good too. Like, all of this is always going to be for your highest good. The mistakes that you go through, the trip ups that you make, all of them are just beautiful learning opportunities for you to know yourself in this world a little bit better. So, on a close on this, feel what moves you. Just wait to sign on the dotted line. This is one of my favorite phrases, and all of my clients love it, is this is just data, right? That's like that right there during this time. This is just data. It's just data. It's just data until you move out of that Venus trine Pluto and the Venus opposite Neptune. And the question to ask yourself right now is, am I seeing this clearly, or am I seeing what I want to see? Am I seeing this clearly, or am I seeing what I want to see? And that's it for that Venus stack, guys.
Mic drop. Boom, take that. So yeah, next we have the Mercury stuff. Did anybody prep the Mercury thingy, my ball? No? No? Okay.
Yo, Mercury don't even need to be brought in right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I can do a quick
Nope,
little
nope,
look on
nope.
that, and
Nope, let's go right to the big thing.
yeah, let's go right to the big news. I'll
Yeah.
look at the Mercury, see if there's anything that really screams out, but yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'll crack a lack then. Welcome to the solar eclipse in the new moon in Leo, which, yeah, I always find eclipse seasons like supercharged, like really supercharged. So it's going to be Wednesday, August 12th. So we've got over a week to like plan for it. But I know that you spiritual babes out there already have the feels before the day comes. Like, you're going to be feeling this energy a few days before it comes. So this is like a new chapter, okay? we are going to be finally getting the clarity that we want because of the stuff that Mercury is doing, and this is not an ordinary new moon. And this is because of the eclipse, right? It's like a new moon, but we turn the volume all the way up and then we just put the windows down in our car and we scream the whole way to our destination. It's kind of one of those. Don't look at me like that, yeah. She was like, ah. So yeah, I always love an eclipse because it's such a magical moment where the moon passes directly between the earth and the sun, temporarily blocking the sun's light. And if you ever see one, it's absolutely extraordinary, but never look at it directly because it's not very good for your eyes. But eclipses also are a season of bringing out what's been hidden, what endings are needed, and to create space for something entirely new to emerge. So as we've got this Venus energy, we're bringing it in, we're going, what do I love? What do I find so beautiful in this life? Like, this is going to be a really good foundation part for this eclipse energy. And this eclipse energy is going to be like the start of the story. We're opening that fresh chapter for the next 6 months, and this is going to continue to February 2027. Okay, so again, it's not asking about what do I want. We already worked that out. It's about who am I becoming? Because Leo is giving you the courage to be yourself. The Leo is ruled by the sun. Oh, you've got a one-liner for Mercury. Cool. We'll come back to that. And the sun, so Leo is ruled by the sun. The sun loves to be big, bold, courageous, like creativity. It wants to shine its beautiful light. And it always reminds us that authenticity is not selfish, but also in that sometimes we have to be selfish to take care of our own needs. Everybody connotates selfishness with like being a bad thing, but it's really, really not. And again, this eclipse is all about leading with our heart. We all have lion's hearts where we are that fierce and courageous version of ourselves. So we want to lead with the heart over ego. And the Leo is asking you, who am I when nobody is telling me who I should be? And we've had this question, so you should already have this answer because Io asked you this a couple of weeks ago. What genuinely lights you up? That's that Venus energy. What am I here to create? Like, what are you to be that like empress of? Like, when you think of empress in the tarot, it's all about fertility and what can you birth into the world and what gifts are you hiding? Because I know you're all sitting on your gifts and not fully, allowing yourself to take up space around them. But this is your time. This is your time. So another kind of side note about eclipses, they're not about immediate answers. It is literally like eclipse boots the door open, and then you go down this beautiful winding path where you get to experience your story. And it may be that things end, some things begin, you may be redirected. And I often think like, rejection is redirection. But also rejection can be a blessing as well, right? Because it's taking you away from the things that are no longer suitable for you. And I feel like everybody in the container of Somae has been really doing the work on themselves. When we're sitting in the after hours, when we're talking to people off the replay, like you guys are taking this stuff and you're going, all right, I'm going to be working with my shadow. I'm going to be doing this stuff because I really want to value myself and I want my life to be better. And I really want to bring into the world the things that I were meant to bring into the world. And between now and February, you want to be paying attention to those new opportunities that arrive, the unexpected invitations, the creative ideas, changes in relationships, because Lord above, I've been chatting to some people and their relationships are fighting for their lives. They're fighting for their lives. Oh my God, like people are having a really tough time in relationships right now. And if you can make it through now, I think you can make it through anything. So have faith that if you are having a difficult time in your relationship, that you're having all of these it's like the tectonic plates underneath you are moving and it's kicking up all of this dust that you can't tolerate anymore. So this is why, you're finding the conflicts. This is why you're having those career shifts. You might be finding that you're going to have that increase in confidence. Oh yeah. Feeling called, and also what are you feeling called towards? That thing that you've always wanted to do for years but never got round to. This is your time. Okay. And as we go into the Leo Aquarius eclipse story, the eclipses don't exist on their own. So this eclipse is part of the Leo Aquarius eclipse cycle. So around 6 months ago, Aquarius invited us to think about community, innovation, collective change, and our place within something bigger. Now, Leo is asking you, it's adding on to that and saying, within the changing world, who do you want to become? Which I think is really beautiful. Aquarius has taught us how to contribute, and now Leo reminds us to not lose ourselves while we do it. And it's the balance of the sign. How can I help the world by becoming fully myself? Because that's how you help the world. So yeah, every transition, everything has some. Oh, okay. You want to come in with those cards now, Io? Yeah, we'll break up me talking because I'm just talking.
I mean, if you feel complete, babe, like I'm just saying.
I can keep going, but I feel like it's a good time to have the cards.
Yeah, we've got what yelled at me, like I cards screamed really, really hard. So this deck, which is Oracle of the Divine, one of my very, very, very favorite artists. They also did Tarot of the Yoshi also did Tarot of the Divine, and Yoshi also did just this one's brand new that just came out not that long ago. This is from 𝘱𝘰𝘴𝘴𝘪𝘵, incredible artist. So what's coming up is I'm cracking up because, you know, we can't make this up. Here's the card. This is the first card that came up, and this is idealism. And I feel like this is directly what you were talking to. And it also plays into that Venus stack we were talking about. The idea of this card is like, this is feeling into the good of everything, regardless. And one of like the main things is the story, you know, Yoshi bases all of their cards off of these stories. And the story of this is where this I cannot pronounce their name properly, so I'm not even going to try to murder it right now. But this card essentially is about someone that sees a white snake and then years later literally falls in love with the snake. So when we're talking about idealism, this is somebody that sees the good in all things and everything, but also does not hide the fact that it's like, oh yeah, I'm married. I'm also married to a snake. Like, it's not the bypassy type of idealism is what's coming in for this. And then the second card that came up was this, which Peru's been coming up a lot in my world. I have a friend of mine that like literally traveling to Peru today. My friends in Peru, I've been messaging them again more recently. And this is potential. And this story comes from the Peruvian stories with the 𝘱𝘰𝘴𝘴𝘪𝘵 and the five condors. And essentially, this card is literally all about creation and all about the prospects that exist within the balance of creation. And this is again, this is the bad and the good, right? What we would see in this very like dichotomous world is bad or good, that none of it is bad or good, right? It is all part of it. So I'm interested. You guys have anything coming through for these, Bonnie? You specifically?
Yeah, I was definitely feeling the openness of potential and going back to taking that breath into the body, how we use all the elements. Because look at the flower and how it's connected to the land, and the water is flowing through that. Just all possible through fire, air, water, earth. It can feel really crunchy right now, the things that we're going through to get us towards this eclipse. But oh yeah, so now I'm seeing the idealism of the rain and the snake, that both the snake and rain are here to cleanse and reshape who we are. And it's not that we're scrubbing those off because we cannot stand our old ways, but it's a gentleness.
It's interesting because both of these cards are showing rain.
Yeah.
Right. And then
with the lightning.
These are the five condor eggs.
Oh, okay. It's like showing me a flower.
Well, and
like
it does
lotus
look like a
flower.
flower, and it looks like a lotus as well, right? And
Yeah.
then, like, one of the things that I love about Yoshi's decks is everything that's in this deck is is layered. It's all multi-layered, right? So the flowers have meaning, the bridge in the background has meaning. Like, so look at these cards and see what calls to you from those cards, and then look up the meaning, right? Look at what's calling you in that.
And as you were saying that, I was being called to look at the one egg being hatched. It's like the newness is already here,
Ooh.
right? And we're breaking through that fine layer of our shell that we've had around us
I
to
love
marry
that.
our own snake.
Ow. Ow. And we talk about snake energy, and I'm gonna start talking about Tantra and Kundalini energy. Y'all know me. I'm like, ooh, snakes. Let me tell you about that snake energy rolling up your spine. So yeah, Tantra, hashtag Tantra. Go check it out if you don't know already.
I feel like as well, it's important to draw to like the feeling of what it's like to crack open from an egg. Not that I've had any experience, do you know what I mean? I'm not a little chicken, but like, when you look at those babies, they're very small, they're very fragile, they're very vulnerable. Like, and it's okay if that's how you feel right now. If you feel like a baby chickie and you're thinking, fucking hell, this is hard and I haven't got my feathers yet, like that's okay. And also, when we're looking at snake imagery, I'm not trying to set you off again, but if we're talking of snake imagery, we are talking about transformation, and there's something in here about loving the transformation, okay? Even when it's hard, even when it's shit, it's about falling in love with the transformation because I think, for me particularly, I like to get to a steady pace and I'd be like, oh, I'm here now. But then I'm forced to change because that's just life. The only thing that we can ever guarantee in life is change. And how can we fall more in love with the transformation and where we're going instead of resisting it, going, no, I don't want that thing. I don't want it. That's kind of what was really coming up for me.
I'm about to get real explicit and real gross. So if you guys don't like talk about bodily functions, mute it for right now and I'll give you the okay symbol for when I'm done. So I love that you're saying this, Kirsty, because like during my detox, I literally have been sitting on the toilet, like just like paying oil from my behind. And I've been sitting here going, thank you. Thank you. All the parasites are coming out of my body. Thank you. And like just being so grateful and so happy that I get the chance to eliminate that way. Like,
Mm.
if you would have asked me a few years ago, I would have had a real hard time with this, right? Like,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
also,
totally.
and also, I also am laughing because you're like, I've never been a baby chick, so I don't know. Babe, I have been with you so many times while you've cracked that egg over and over and over again. Like you have
I
cracked
just
it.
mean like, I've not physically been a baby chick. Emotionally, spiritually, definitely baby chick vibes. But
Maybe if
equally the same as well. Like one of the worst things that ever happened to me in my life happened back in April and completely shifted my world. And I fucking violently hated every minute of it. And now I'm like, that's the best thing that could have ever happened. That's the best thing that could have ever happened. So yeah, so I think there's something in it about knowing that the transformation is for your highest good, letting go of control and surrendering, and just being like, if I woke up and didn't give a single fuck today, how would I behave? How would I act? And maybe just embody that a little bit. Embody that a little bit.
and we've got one more aspect. We got that last human design gate, right, Bonnie? And then the
Yeah.
little weird Mercury. Do you guys want the Mercury thing or the human design thing?
If it's a one-liner, maybe do the Mercury now and then we can end on the gate, maybe.
Perfect. Yeah, it's pretty much the line for the Mercury stack that's literally happening at the same time as the Venus stack is what's been forming quietly in you is ready to be said. It's ready to be said clearly, cleanly, and honestly. So this goes with like what Kirsty was just saying. If you were gonna like live your life without giving a fuck, like how would that look? Like just be you. Just go out, be you. This is also like ties into the eclipse. Like this is just a really, really optimal time to be playing and working with whatever the heck you want to be working with. And like again, if part of this is screaming at you and the other part is not screaming at you, then drop the parts that aren't screaming at you. Only take what's really, really calling to you in the moment. So.
And one quick note on the eclipse work. If you're going to do any spell work over the eclipse, just know that the energy is very intense and unpredictable. If you're a chaos witch, this is your time to shine. But if you're like me and don't want to fuck around and find out when it comes to magic, I'm kind of going to be like, I'm going to sit down over here. But like, if you want to manifest and have things happen in a really unusual way, or like, you know, like something that comes in through the back door, like, you know, it's not going to be a very straightforward thing, then you can manifest with this energy. It's very potent energy, but I will not be doing any spell work. And
Me, I love me eclipse energy. You know me, I'm
you
like
do.
diving into the middle of the sun, going, yes, give me all of the things. Like,
I know that's your inner chaos gremlin just being like, yeah. And like, and then like, you know, earlier I was thinking like, oh, you don't usually do spell work on eclipse, but you could.
I do ritual often. Like, I mean,
Mm.
I feel with like the precautions in place, like grounding, and then like making sure like you're attached into your highest good, your highest good, your highest good over and over and over again. Like, that's how you protect yourself through any of this like wackadoo stuff, is you just know without a shadow of a doubt that it's going to be for your highest good. Just like you were talking about your transformation in April and what happened with that. Like, eventually it ended up being for your highest good, you know?
Yeah.
And
I just
that's the
think as
same
long as
thing.
you're, oh sorry, I just think as long as you're prepared for the intensity and the potential chaos, then go for it. Because
But can
people
you
do scaremonger.
but can you ever really truly be prepared for the intensity? That's the thing again. We're in the time of no control. We're in a
Well,
time of
that's it.
chaos.
That's it. It's the time, like that's it. It's the being prepared is being able to surrender and be like, okay, I've put it out there. How it comes to me is how it comes to me. Like that the being prepared is being so unprepared that you don't give a shit. You're like, I'll just take it. I'll just take it.
I'm good. I'm fucking good.
I'll have it anyway.
What do you
Yeah.
think in this debate, Bonnie? Fucking full chaos ritual, or sitting and hanging out?
I'm neutral.
Of course you are.
I don't do a whole lot of spells, and I don't ascribe to things have to be harder. Um, and I like a little chaos.
Mm. I do feel
Well,
sorry for Bonnie sometimes because it's like Bonnie and two like chaos gremlins, and she just has to like board us and be like, stop.
Bonnie loves
Oh, I'm a
chaos
chaos.
too. She's
Yeah.
chaos. She's chaos as well. I think you're the least chaos out of all of us.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Bonnie's a little Bonnie's got that chaos magic in her soul. Yeah.
100%.
Okay, all right. Well, I can't wait to see those cards turn. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see in the eclipse.
Throw and do some rituals in the eclipse, and then we'll talk about chaos. Fuck around and find out.
I feel like that needs to be the title of the episode. Fuck around and find out this week, everyone.
I think that would be the title of every episode. I think that should just be our subline, is Somae
Yeah,
Society Space Weather. Fuck around and find out, guys.
Yeah, so
sorry.
Mercury is here to help us prepare. It's helping us go into the eclipse. And you just got a little taste of what that energy looks like. So if you want more, please message us in the school community and we can do a deeper dive or share with you what we've been pulling through. And can I move on to the gate? Yeah.
Please, I'll stop talking.
So one of the things I love that we've been doing is working with Dr. Curry Parker and her quantum human design. It takes the regular human design and it's enhanced it. And that represents the times that we're in. We're in quantum changes. We're in these light speed moving through, oh, that's funny, moving through into our whole beingness. And so when we talk about the gates, these are here in support specifically. Gate 4 is in the Ajna, which is the third eye. And that connects to gate 63, which is in the crown. The gate 4 is the gate of possibility. It is answering that possibility. So what you may be feeling is pressure to find answers, to solve your problems, to make sense of the things through logic. And that's that third eye. What we always invite you to do is bring that into the body through breath, sound, movement, through chaos. The only way out is through. And the trap of gate 4 is that the belief we have is that all answers must be present before we begin. And that is fucking your shit up. That is fucking everything up. You have to take that step, even if it just means standing up from the position of sitting. And when we can't find those answers, we descend into doubt. And that's exactly the energy that both Io and Kirsty were bringing in. We might be in freeze, and we might be pointing that back at ourselves, which then makes that cloud and that confusion from Venus energy and Uranus come back around and make it even more amplified. So sitting with yourself, sitting with gate 4, if you have this in your personality, you might be more familiar with it. I have it in my unconscious. So that means that now I have it in my conscious, and it gives a little more information. In support of this, an opposition is the Earth gate and gate 13, which let's see, sorry, my notes are all jumbled here. It's gate 13. Gate 13 is in the G center, and it connects to gate 33 in the throat center, which is I remember or not. That's so funny, because it was trying to get me to forget. And together, what these are telling you is there's a story. What is that story that you're telling about yourself? Do you remember who you actually are beneath the roles and the past? And are you taking control of your own narrative, or are you allowing the past to control you? You are in the opportunity in that solar eclipse time of rewriting the story. Rewrite your own narrative and step into who you are meant to be. See, it's there. So Mercury again is preparing you. The eclipse is initiating you. And in following through with the messages of this call today, what is that bringing into your heart to take action steps, even within your own system? Anything coming through for you guys?
There's what's coming through is like a light, and the light is directly coming from the solar plexus. And it's not just like a light, it is like a burning white hot, like searing, like that white that you can't even look at, which is interesting with the eclipse information. That is what's coming through. That is the potentiality of what's happening this week. There are spaces to trip up. There are spaces to, fall. There are spaces to have all of this. And also, if you can keep that in your mind, what Bonnie's been talking about, like Kirsty's been talking about, what I've been talking about, if you can keep that in your mind of like, this is always for my highest good, no matter how hard the tribulation is, this is for my highest good. If you can keep that anchor, that is the anchor, that is the grounding we're talking about, then the ability for your solar plexus, your center of self, to illuminate in this white hot searing light and letting it burn away anything that is not serving you, allows you to become the wholest of yourself. And if you miss this train, you can always catch the next one.
So for us, we always feel the energetics before things are happening. So I know for me, like I'm going through this right now.
Yeah.
And so some of you may not feel it till after it's already occurred, and that's okay. There isn't one way to do any of this.
So we've got a quick card for Kirsty, and then we've got to start wrapping up.
So we've got the Stargazer. So I love the Stargazer. It says set your sights higher, and the first line of the message in the book is you are on the verge of a miracle.
Mm.
So when it's hard, when it's shit, when there's no vision, when there is clarity, when there's no motivation, when there is motivation, know that you are on the verge of a miracle. It's like when you feel like your manifestations are not coming true and you're really in that squishy part, this is where the door opens for you, right? It's always like going through that funnel. And also with the stargazer, take some time for yourself. Actually go and look at the stars. If you are lucky enough to be able to see some stars, go and find the stars, because I think as well that's going to be really useful for some people to be able to get some downloads, to be able to get some clarity by actually just physically and going looking at the stars.
They're saying on the 14th specifically.
Go look at the stars on the 14th, the
I don't know what's
stargazer
happening on
said.
the 14th, but the 14th, go look at stars.
It's really close to the eclipse.
Yeah. Sweet. Anybody want to close us out?
I'll close this out.
Cool.
So if everybody can take a breath into your body, feel your feet on whatever surface they're at, allow your crown to connect to the sky through your breath. Thank you so much for your presence, for showing up live, for watching the recording. Be gentle with your hearts and soul. Speak your truth, find your wisdom. Take a deep breath, blow it out. Breathe in through your asshole and breathe out through your ajna. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Go like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to just keep saying that and hopefully somebody listens.
Stay on for after hours if you're already here. And thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Love you, Missy. Bye.